Okay folks, back messing with the bike. I did get the shocks here narrowed up at the top. Getting ready to design the rockers and try to get it where I can get an axle in there. I don't have any bearings for this wheel, so I might be able to, I don't know, I doubt I've got any, but we can come up with something to go ahead and try to get it centered where we can get it on there. Okay, I want to show you something else. This is an old light, and this is off of actually my 57 International. This was an old spotlight that was on the back of it when it had the old wrecker style rotator boom on it that they used, I think, airports or something. But anyway, I like the bracket on it, so I think I'm going to make a piece that this will slide down in. We may shorten it up and rethread it and mount this. And this chrome ring don't go on it, but I'm going to use it on it, or stainless. The one that went on it, it had 3 screws in it, and you can see the tabs sticking out here. The tabs broke off at the top. We'll go ahead and take the tabs off, and we'll fix this hole and take the handle off, because this was a spotlight on the back, so you could grab the handle and turn it and twist it up and down. But I like the bracket style on it. I think it's going to look really good on this bike. You know, it's with the bracket coming out as wide as the forks, it's not, you know, it just looks in place. So I'm going to go ahead and mount that, just because, you know, I'm not going to finish it off and everything like that, but I want to go ahead and mount it to get an idea. That's going to help me, you know, decide some of the other stuff, because I do like the lights. So we're going to definitely go with it, and we still got to figure out handlebars. And like I said, I really prefer to build my handlebars, but we'll see how that goes and what I end up doing on that. But coming along nice. I'm liking it a lot better coming in, being narrower. And then once we get, you know, this light on and other things, you know, it'll all fill in, and I think it'll look good. But I think the light makes it look more like an older bike, and you know, this is squared off a lot, and them are wide. Now I did mark a mark down it. It's going to be hard to see, but to where I may narrow them forks up a little, or even narrow the outside plate, not the inside, to keep the strength on it, but make the looks a little narrower. And I may do that, and I may not. I don't know. You know, that's stuff you can always do later. I mean, if it's something that you don't like. I think if I'd done it again, I probably would have made my own forks that would have been tapered in the front and tapered in the back. Not, you know, round, but, you know, sort of an egg shape from the top looking down. But you know, that of course is another idea, but that, you know, it is what it is. We've got it. Probably try to get the rockers done and maybe get the light mounted if I don't have to run, you know, toes a bunch today. And if we can get all that done, we might get started on just fabbing up a, you know, one side of the tank, so we can see how that's going to look. So alright, let me get at it. Alright, we're going to get to mounting this light, and this is what we're going to use. This is actually a piece off of a Model T for the suspension, just an old one I had laying around. I'm going to cut this end off, and we're going to use this. And I'm going to actually, because this is forged, it's not cast, we're going to weld a piece of steel to it, make a mount, and I'll just show you as I go. Okay, I'll show you what we've got so far on the light, the headlight. Cleaned the bracket up, got all the paint off of it, cut this off, and this is the piece I showed you from the Model T. Done a little work on the nut, because I didn't like the square edge of the nut. It didn't look really good on there, so we've got our nut ready. Let me see. Shorten this shaft up, and of course it fits right through it. So then we took a piece of 1 inch and bored it, and I turned this down, and this will get welded in there. And what I'm going to try to do, we're going to radius this and bring this down, and the bolts will go straight up through into the bottom triple tray. And I'm going to weld this in, and what I'm going to try to do is make this whole thing blend together and look like it was always one piece. That's our goal. I'll weld the back up right there, but I think that'll work. We'll just make it into a mount. It looks like you know, when I'm done, I'm hoping it'll look just like a factory mount, and we'll, you know, probably do the edges of it and stuff, maybe try to make the whole thing look like it's a cast piece, and then we'll get the light mounted. But I'll show you as I go, and we'll go ahead and get this machine down like I want. Okay folks, I've spent all the time on the headlight that I'm going to do for today. Got it on. You know, this will be fully adjustable up and down, even left and right. I really like it. I think once it's, you know, body worked and I got some places to weld in and stuff, it's pretty thick just in a couple spots, you know. I think it's going to look really good. My bracket come out alright. Still got some more grinding to do on it, but, you know, making it, like I said, I just want it to look like it's all one piece. I've got 4 holes in it. We'll drill and tap, and up into here. I've just got it clamped on right now, but I do like it. I think it, you know, I think it works with the bike. You know, the bracket coming around, that's, you know, makes it look more old school now. Anyway, I think I'm going to start designing these rockers real quick. See what I can get figured out on that, and we'll go from there. Okay folks, it's been a little while. Been doing some cleaning up in the shop, and I've been putting insulation up on the ceiling, and this is just the thin stuff. I've got to go pick up another roll, and of course this stuff's expensive, but trying to get to where we don't have so much sweat in the shop, you know, where humidity gets on the machines and stuff, and that way maybe I won't have to clean them so much. I did take the squirrel nest out. Now the squirrel hadn't been in there in a little while anyway, so, but I had to get rid of him, so I could put the insulation up. Hopefully he don't try to get in and rip out through it and get back up in there. But anyway, so where we left off at here, it's been a couple days since I'd done any on this video, but you know, I got the headlight bracket pretty much done. Needs, you know, some more cleanup and stuff, but getting ready to start on the forks for the rockers. Now, as you can see, I did do some changing on the forks to get the angle back, and somebody had mentioned it looked like there was a lot of rake in the forks, and they're right, there was. And you know, sometimes you draw something out on paper that you like the way it looks, but if it don't mechanically work that way, you got to change it. So I changed it, and you know, once it's finished up, you'll never know it was done. But you know, I just cut the bottoms off and actually flopped them from one side to the other, got it back together. Now I ordered the rims for this because I need them to get everything, you know, right, but aligned right. I went with 3.5. These rims that are on it are the 2.15, so the ones I'm putting on it are going to be a little bit wider. It's going to fill out them front forks a little better, and we'll just work with it and do what we got to do. Next, I guess, is getting these rockers made for the front, and so we're going to get at that, go ahead and get them designed and see if we can get them on there. Trying to, you know, the other thing about the insulation, I'm trying to get the shop lightened up some, maybe a little brighter in here, and where we can do a little better videos. I don't think my camera's the issue. I think it's just the not much light in here. So and I've got some more cleaning to do here. You know, record service is terrible for any kind of work like this, because no matter what you're working on, where you got your tools scattered at, you know, what you've got going on, if you get a tow or wreck, you've got to go. So you can't just stop and clean all your tools up and put everything back. You just got to roll, and that creates a problem a lot. You know, you end up with a mess. So sometimes you just got to stop and take time to get things straightened out. But I'm going to work on the tank and work on the rockers for the forks, and we'll see if we can get something together on that. And need to get a video up here soon. So, all right, going back at it. Okay folks, here we are with our gas tank patterns. Now I did redesign the gas tank a little bit. I made it a little deeper, a little longer. What I've got is I've got two different patterns. I've got one that's a little bigger than the other. It's actually longer. And the reason I've done that is because I've got to bend the ends. Now, trying to figure out a length without doing the height is almost impossible. So what I'm going to do is cut these patterns out, and then I'm going to cut them ones out and go ahead and put my bends in. I'm going to overlay, and I'm going to have 2 inches exactly is what's going in between, and then I will have to do some trimming and cutting to get it exactly straight, because what I'm trying to do is keep the walls straight but still have a taper here and a taper here. And I'm not going to have to go real far for the forks, but you know, a little bit of a taper. And so basically what we've got is a new design style of a tank with the old school taper and flat sides. So we'll see how that looks and how it works out. I hope it works out okay. If not, we'll scrap the project, start over with another tank, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, I'll show you as I go. Alright folks, I don't know what video I'm going to add this in on. Just wanted to show you something. This trailer right here, I built this trailer, I guess 27 years ago. I was 20 years old when I built this trailer, and I built it and sold it to a neighbor where I used to live, and now his son uses it, and his son mows the grass for me down at my other storage lot, but he uses it all the time. But every bit of this thing was scrap, and these are actually some kind of shelving racks that I had picked up out of a ravine, and there was nothing but scrap. Let me see if, yeah, they got the lips on the side, but solid axle all the way down. I used a straight tube for the axle, and I used old minivan rear hubs, and I had to make it wider. So instead of just cutting the axle and extending it, I just used a piece of pipe. But just kind of surprised, you know, every once in a while stuff like this pops up, you know, that you done so long ago and you remember it. And I didn't have anything but a Lincoln stick welder, and I think by this time I might have had a chop saw. And you know, the trailer was built according to what size them pieces was, lengthwise and the width, because that's all of them I had. So just wanted to show you that. That's 27 years ago. 27 years ago I built it. But it's held up good, worked fine. It's actually a tilt trailer, and like I said, every piece of it was scrap. And when I sold this to him, or to his dad, he actually traded me 2 regular mobile home axles in on the deal, and I used them to make another trailer, and then I ended up selling it. But alright, built out of junk anyway. Okay folks, been a couple days, been really busy towing. I towed about 13 hours, I think 14 hours maybe yesterday straight, and let me see, I had to put a power steering pump on the top kick with the DT466 today, and unfortunately yesterday morning I was driving my International, the one I built, and you know, I put a clutch in it about a month ago, and went to push the clutch in, and it just wanted to keep going. And when I got stopped and was able to put it in, shove the clutch in and put it in gear, it was squealing real bad. So I've got something that's come out of that clutch. And now we put a new clutch, pressure plate throttle bearing, pilot bushing, and flywheel on that truck. So shouldn't be nothing, you know, that went wrong on our part. But I got a feeling that one of them springs came out of the clutch and is jammed between the clutch and the flywheel, or maybe on the back side, the clutch and the pressure plate. So got to take transmission back out of it, and that's the problem with buying parts nowadays, because the stuff's so daggone cheap. So you know, I bought it out of Pennsylvania online, so they probably won't warranty it. I'll probably have to spend another $500 on another clutch set, and plus the time, the labor of taking it out again. So I don't know, it's just it's always something. So we've got to do it. Like I said, I just done the power steering pump. Got a new tire to put on the other rollback, but we're going to mess with this just a little bit and see if we can maybe get the tank bent up. I haven't done the rockers yet. I'm really need to be doing them, but I had another issue. I don't mean to be complaining, but I had another issue on the rims. I bought 2 brand new rims from a company in Maryland, and they're I don't know if they're a Harley dealer, but they're a big parts company. And I bought the rims, of course, on eBay. The big spoke 21-inch wheels. They were 3.5 inch. These are 2.15. I was going to go a little bit wider, but anyway, I bought them. Of course, they had to wait a day and a half, 2 days before they told me that, oh, we don't have them. And they actually called me the day after, and to make sure what I wanted. And I told them, and I said, look, you don't have to worry about me complaining, because I'm going to make them work no matter what. They won't get sent back. So they said okay. And then of course the next day they didn't call me. They messaged me or emailed me and told me that that they didn't have them, and it'd be 4 weeks before they could get them, and trying to offer me other rims that I didn't want, black rims, and I didn't, that's not what I'm looking for. So I just told them refund the money. So they refunded the money. I bought another set out of a company in Florida, and I ended up getting 2.15, the same width as these, and the big spoke rims. I got them for a narrow glide, so they're going to be a little bit easier to work with what I've already got set up here. So we're going to get them, and that's what I'm waiting on. The rockers, I want to make sure that I can do that the way I want, but I'm going to go ahead and get on this gas tank and see if we can get something together on it. So I'll show you. Okay, we've got all of our tanks cut out, and I made, of course, this one longer, and I've got my brakes in it and the way that I want it, and you can see it brakes back here. It goes down to about a 1/2 inch, and then it actually brakes here, but it brakes with the same line as the fork, and when the fork's straight, it's still got the same line as the fork. So I think it's actually going to look okay like that. And I've just got to clean it all up, and then I got to make sure that this piece is exactly the same as this one, because I just made this longer, and when I made it longer, it actually extended it every which way. So but the ends are just about right, and we're going to get to work on this, see if we can get something welded up, and so we can at least put it up there and see what we've got and what we're going to get ourselves into here. But I'm going to go ahead and end this video, and the next one will be hopefully getting all this tank together and welded up on both sides. So, all right, appreciate everybody watching, and till next time, bye.